6:16, I'll call the Finance Committee meeting to order. We just have one item on the agenda tonight. We purchased some golf carts that were financed locally, and when we wrote up the ordinance at the end of 2022, we wrote the amount of the payments to be $16,570.78. These are golf cart payments out the golf course, and the actual amount ended up being $16,589.66 per payment. So in the budget this year, we have $16,600, so we have the money available, but in order for it to be properly processed, the ordinance needs to be amended to read that the actual amount of the payments are $16,589.66. This is a difference of just under $19 each year for the next 3 years. So unless there's some issue with that, I'd like to move that forward to the council meeting tonight for first reading.
How are we financing that?
Pardon?
How are we financing that?
Through part of the non-reverting golf fund. I was thinking about seeded, but I let that one go. So is everyone in consensus to move that forward?
Yes.
Okay. All right. All right, and with that, the Finance Committee meeting is closed, 6:18.
6:18, the Rules Committee will now commence. We have 3 things on the agenda. Council appointments. Finance Committee, Chairman Dave Morris, Haley Zinsmaster, and Susie Wamsley. Public Safety, Chairman BJ Cox, Chris Howard, Susie Wamsley. Rules Committee, Chairman Chris Howard, Cameron Austin, Scott Peedy. Planning and Economic Development, Chairman Scott Peedy, Cameron Austin, Haley Zinsmaster. Utilities, Chairman Haley Zinsmaster, Dave Morris, Chris Howard. Parks Committee, Chairman Susie Wamsley, Dave Morris, BJ Cox. Public Works, Chairman Cameron Austin, BJ Cox, Scott Peedy. Does anybody have any problem with these? Any changes, comments, concerns?
Looks good.
Okay, we'll go for 2 years, Dave?
Yeah, 24, 25.
Okay, 24, 25. Okay, moving on. Inspection fees for the fire department. Chief Barry, you in?
Hold on, Scott, we need to move forward on the,
Council President?
yes.
Okay. Stand by, Chief. Council President, we have 2 people that want to do that. Dave, are you interested?
Same.
Okay. Anybody else interested in running for Council President? I'd like to toss my hat in the ring for Council President. We can have a vote. All those in favor of Dave Morris being president, raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Dave Morris is Council President. And last on the agenda, the inspection fees for the fire department. Come on up, Chief. No confusion on this. Did you, I thought we just need to get an ordinance written and get it on the agenda for the next council meeting?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of surprised when I seen it on Rules Committee, to be quite honest, because I thought it already went through rules.
Okay,
And we're just waiting to get the ordinance written
okay,
and then go from there to council.
sounds good. That's what we'll do then. We'll
Okay.
just table that and
Yeah,
get it wrote for the next, February's meeting.
okay,
Thank you very much.
thank you.
6:20, any other, subject for the Rules Committee? Anybody want to bring anything up? Council comments? The Rules Committee is over at 6:21. Take a short break till 6:30 when the regular meeting will commence.
And this was their regular balance right here.
That was the original amount.
Did you lower the price?
No, they, so much down, and I made a payment last year. Actually not in sync with, yeah,
Right,
so
that
that's,
is all that was in.
yeah. Flip a couple pages, you'll see. There was a chart on, the next page, I think there's a chart.
Yes.
And the one that got the bid was,
First
Farmers
Farmers.
at the top.
Yeah.
See, we put, doesn't it show on there that we put 15 down?
Yes.
Yeah, and then they made, in 23, they made a payment.
Small.
Yeah, 15, well, whatever it came out to, I don't know what the amount was.
That's about 11,000.
That was, I think the 5 payment was,
Okay.
70 something amount. That was the actual purchase price. And the bigger interest.
Right.
So the amount was more than that number. That was just the purchase price.
Okay. I'm good then. Because the difference I got here without that payment was 11,000.
Yeah, but the interest is probably that 4,000 over the course of that.
So yeah, that one and Dora, I think,
To the redevelopment, that's given them that lot.
I wonder if Kelly's gonna be here. It's his birthday today, I saw. So,
Sure.
I was just thinking, that's an awfully long.
Yeah, no, I have like 100 sick days, but. Are you, did you say you were staying with these each time? Staying with your son?
Would want to be part of it.
2 o'clock and I just seemed a little too early.
Right.
I thought.
Yeah, because they've been applying for it for like.
No, Chris is going to use it.
No.
Yeah.
Morning.
Hey. Tell him, no scooters allowed in here.
Will this probably be in
Exactly. Right.
I don't know what day yet. I was gonna try to plan it into the week, but the way it looks, it probably won't be a fun ride along anyway. It'll be pretty boring. I mean, it's gonna be snowing like crazy already.
I'll get the Rex maybe.
How exciting. I've been in a few of those in my day. I don't need to visit them.
Right. Should be. He usually comes in very last minute.
What we get to do with, the battery factory land.
You mean he's later than you are? That's crazy.
I know.
Well, impressive.
Yeah, Aaron's here,
Do
so.
you think this helps you? It's gonna help you in the long run become a little more on time with things?
Yes.
Since you have to be here earlier now to make it up here.
Exactly.
Or are you just gonna go right back to it after?
I don't know yet. I have this.
That's the piece of the fire. This was just like a small area where inbound cars. You know, they would use the
It just says clerk, treasurer, and president. It doesn't say who.
Yeah. Well, the first one, like, the first thing that needs signed is
So.
this. Cause it's the old.
Oh, yeah.
Carl wanted me to say something.
I know. Although, we still got 2 minutes. That's wrong.
That's right, I'm on.
That's fast.
My mistake.
What I have to do. I'm all for it.
So the ink, write these down. April 1st. Oh. No, the council meeting on April Fool's Day.
Oh no. April Fools.
I know, right?
I was wondering if it was discount like the Logan Sport calendar on the page. It says the meeting was last week. It says it was on the 1st. Clearly, message got out.
Exactly.
Luckily.
Thank goodness. Yeah, exactly.
What clock is it going off of? But
Well, I talked with Kelly before about the minutes. Like, approval of the minutes doesn't matter. Like, it can be just a general consensus of the council, like, as long as they approve it. So the person, like, John,
yeah, there you go.
Right.
easy to prove myself. Good evening. It is 6:30 PM on Monday, January 8th, 2024. I'm Mayor Chris Martin, calling to order the regular session of the Logansport Common Council. We will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
BJ Cox,
Here.
Chris Howard,
Here.
Cameron Austin,
Present.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Present.
Scott Peedy,
Present.
Susie Wamsley, Dave Morris.
Present.
All right, we'll start with the approval of minutes from the regular session's December 4th, 2023 meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Dave Morris,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Scott Peedy,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Abstain.
Chris Howard,
I abstain.
BJ Cox.
Abstain.
All right, next is the approval of minutes for the special called session December 18th, 2023 meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Call for question.
Chris Howard,
Abstain.
Cameron Austin,
Abstain.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
BJ Cox,
Abstain.
Scott Peedy,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Abstain.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
All right, no comments from myself, except run the ball for the Colts. Reports from committees, boards, and commissions.
Yes, we had a finance committee meeting at 6:15 this evening on ordinance 2024-01. We needed to make an adjustment on the appropriations.
Mr. Mayor, we had a Rules Committee meeting. We discussed council appointments and voted in Dave Morris as council president. Thank you.
All right. Any other reports from committees, boards, and commissions? All right, seeing none, we'll move on to old business ordinance 2023-38. Councilman Peedy.
Ordinance 2023-38, an ordinance to Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, establishing a downtown designated outdoor refreshment area. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on ordinance 2023-38, please.
Second.
Second, but I think we're going to ask to
Yes, we'd
table
like to
this.
make a motion to table this for another month.
So I have a motion for a table. Do you have a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Call for question on tabling ordinance 2023-38.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Peedy,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Ordinance 2023-38 is tabled. Resolution 2023-149. Councilman Cox.
Resolution 2023-149, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, amending Resolution 2022-101 and entering into the land acquisition agreement with the Logansport Redevelopment Commission. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote.
Do you have a second?
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to take the time. I've been approached by numerous people in the public, so if you want to come up and speak on that.
Something to hand out also. My name is Emily Klabundi, and I'm from the Logansport Farmers Market. And tonight, I'm once again here on behalf of the Logansport Farmers Market Association regarding the lot at 4th and Market. So I wanted to take this opportunity to communicate with the new council members, as well as to bring forth some new information. And I'm handing out both of those things, things that we've shared in the past and some of the new information for tonight. The farmers market lot was donated by Salem Bank and Trust Company to the city in 2009 so that the farmers market would have a permanent home. This lot has continued to be used and appreciated by the farmers market and the community ever since. Bill Salem himself stated, "One of our goals continues to be supporting the communities we serve, and this gift to the city of Logansport and its residents will benefit the community for generations to come." However, some of the city officials are actively proceeding to take the farmers market lot away from the community and sell it to the highest bidder. The vision being that the developer will put a large building on the lot, perhaps shops on the floor level and housing above, and that this lot, which was donated to benefit the community, will now provide tax dollars instead. This plan has already started to slip into place. Right under our feet, without any knowledge of what was happening, the city deeded the lot to the Redevelopment Commission in April of 2022. The lot had been our permanent home for over 15 years, and suddenly, without any warning or understanding of what had occurred, we were asked to move. Our bathrooms were bulldozed, and we began discussion on where and how to continue as a market. We later discovered that the Redevelopment Commission was supposed to accomplish the task of development within a certain time frame, or the lot would automatically revert back to the city. Though the task was not accomplished in the required time frame, the automatic transfer back to the city also did not occur. And last month, the Redevelopment Commission requested to hold on to ownership of the lot permanently so that they could more easily continue their plan for development. That same evening, the community came together to hold off that vote, and it was tabled until the new year out of respect for the council members recently elected and stepping up to serve the community. We, as part of the local economy, understand the importance of dollars, but a rich and thriving community is made up of much more than this. As I stated last month, economically, the farmers market should be considered a business incubator. We are an organization that helps local startup companies and local entrepreneurs to develop their businesses. And the diversity of businesses that come to the center of Logansport to participate in this local market is vast. We have produce farmers, bakers, artists, woodworkers, beef, pork, lamb, poultry, and game bird producers, along with so many other local goods. While our local grocery stores bring in local food from Michigan or Indiana, and mostly from California, Mexico, and beyond, the farmers at the Logansport Farmers Market produce food only within a 7-county range. Every single item sold at market is made and produced by the seller. We draw people to the center of Logansport twice a week. We are an ongoing, regular festival that Logansport can count on year after year, week after week, constantly changing and rotating depending on the season and which sellers are actively participating. And as I shared last month, the farmers market was ranked number 1 and number 2 in the 2023 Parks Department survey regarding what the community values. So tonight, the community is again here to let you know what is important to us. I could go on and on regarding the benefits of having the Logansport Farmers Market Association in the center of town at 4th and Market. But instead, I hope you will take the time to read the Logansport Farmers Market statement from December 4th, which is enclosed, as well as listen to the recording from the City Council meeting that night, in which the community stood up and shared about the importance of this local market. This will help catch you up on the discussion regarding the farmers market lot. Tonight, we want to draw attention to more than the value that the Logansport Farmers Market adds to this community. We want to plead with the city to do what is right. Since our last meeting, we spent some time talking with some of those people who were present in 2009 when Salem Bank donated the lot at 4th and Market, most significantly, Bill Salem himself. In December, Deputy Mayor Pomisel stated that even though the lot was donated to the city for the farmers market, there are no legal obligations written into the deed which would keep the city from doing whatever it wants with the lot. In regards to this, I would like to turn the microphone over to Jessica Passion, one of the members of the Logansport Farmers Market.
I'm Jessica Passion. Although Deputy Mayor Pomisel is seemingly correct in his assertion from the December 2023 meeting that there are no legal ramifications for Salem Bank and Trust Company should the city decide to turn the lot over for commercial development, it is undoubtedly an unattractive move for a city to blatantly disregard the wishes of a donor. It would be an incredible disservice to Logansport to lose out on future community assets should viable donors decline to give out of concern that their wishes not be upheld. I had the chance to speak with Mr. Salen regarding his incredibly generous gift to our community, and I would now like to take this opportunity to share with the council his feelings regarding the transfer of the farmers market lot to the Redevelopment Commission in a letter from him to the council, which reads as follows. To members of the Logansport City Council, in 2009, Salin Bank and Trust donated its employee parking lot to the city of Logansport for continued use by the Logansport Farmers Market and for the benefit of the community for generations to come. On the market's opening day in 2011, we celebrated this positive impact by hosting a reusable bag giveaway and unveiling a permanent sign we purchased to designate the lot as the home of the Logansport Farmers Market. A member of the Logansport Farmers Market recently notified me that the city is actively working to remove the market from the property donated by Salin Bank and intends to allow commercial development at the site. As the acting president and CEO of Salin Bank and Trust Company at the time, I am disappointed to hear that the well-publicized purpose of the land donation may not be honored by the city. I am further disappointed by the misrepresentation by the Logansport deputy mayor that Salin Bank made this donation, at the time valued over $85,000, simply to get it off the books. Today, I would like to reiterate that this donation made to the city of Logansport was for the greater good of the citizens of the city, a sentiment diametric to any plans by the Redevelopment Commission to exploit it with market rate housing. The city of Logansport should not be profiting from a donation intended to serve its citizens now and into the future. In no uncertain terms was it ever my intention for this donation to be used for for-profit shops or housing, and allowing the Redevelopment Commission to utilize it in such a way is a disservice to all members of the greater Logansport community. And that was signed by Bill Salin.
The message from Bill Salin is clear. This was not a property that was given to the city so that the city could cash in on it whenever they wanted. When this lot was donated, the Logansport Farmers Market was a much smaller entity and was not incorporated. And so the city of Logansport was entrusted with and accepted responsibility for the gift for the benefit of the community for generations to come. It is easy for a gift like that to be dismissed over time or squelched and traded for money when enough years have gone by that city officials assume they can get away with something because the people who remember are no longer around. Mike Fincher was the mayor at the time that the lot was donated and is listed as the buyer on December 10, 2009, when ownership was transferred. When we spoke with him this month, he stated that he remembers well that the lot was indeed gifted to the city for the farmers market. That was very clear. Tonight we have two requests. Number one, we ask that the lot be taken back from the Redevelopment Commission because not only are they obligated to turn it over due to their original agreement with the city, but further, we believe that the lot was wrongly deeded to them in the first place. Secondly, we ask that the city meet with us about designating this lot legally to the Logansport Farmers Market Association Incorporated, now a nonprofit organization, as it was originally intended, in order to prevent a future administration from once again taking a gift that was given to the community and using it for their own monetary gain. In reviewing the video dialogue from last month, I had so many things I wanted to respond to today, not only by the members of the community, but also things that were said by the council members, by the city planner, and by the deputy mayor. We don't have time to do that. But I especially appreciated the words of one of the council members in December. He stated, "I didn't get elected to do what I think is best. You didn't get elected to do what you think is best. I think we were elected to do what the community thinks is best." We want to thank you for your time tonight and for being a place the community can come to be heard. We, the community, are standing together now to ask that Logansport honor this gift to the community and allow it to continue.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Emily and Jessica. That was very well written. Deanna?
Good evening.
My name's Deanna Crispin, and I serve as our Cass County Community Foundation President and CEO, a position I've held almost 19 years, and surprisingly, this is probably the second time I've got to address City Council, so bear with me for a minute. I'm here tonight on behalf of the Community Foundation. Back on October the 9th of last year, with no knowledge of what was going on with the farmers market, we received an invitation from Lillian Dalmet to participate in what they called Phase 8. It consisted of a 3-week time period for us to put together a proposal to write a grant for planning for a project in our community. And as we first started thinking about it, there were lots of things that our community needs help with. Hunger, homelessness, early childhood education, all those things. But we finally settled on trying to do something around food. The conversation started with how could we utilize the greenhouses that we helped purchase for the pink petunias. They're only used 3 months out of the year. What could we grow there? Who could grow it? And as the conversation got further down the road, we ended up submitting a proposal for our planning grant to Lillian Dalmet to investigate making a permanent facility at the farmers market. Dave, I have pictures. Way back in 2010, Logan's Landing commissioned a study for downtown, a strategic plan. And it was such an eye-catching facility that I kept it all these years, 13 years. It's a plan for a canopy over the farmers market. It would have restrooms. It would have room eventually for a commercial kitchen. And our idea with Lillian Dalmet was to make this an international farmers market, to draw in our minorities. Cass County ranks in the top 10 in the state for minorities, but we're probably first or second when it comes to diversity within those minorities. We have every ethnic group here you can almost think of: Guatemalan, Haitian, Creole, Vietnamese, Karen, just a whole list. And our idea is that if we could engage those populations and turn this into an international farmers market, we will have an opportunity over this year. We have to submit another proposal in April, and then if we're selected, then it becomes competitive. There would be another proposal over the summer. We could receive up to $5 million to fund this project. We feel like this is a game changer for our community, and it would be a destination point in downtown where people could come and gather, not just on days the farmers market was there, but days if we wanted to have a Cinco de Mayo festival, days if we wanted to have a Christmas craft show. All of those types of events could take place there. I was on vacation, came home, saw the newspaper article about the lot, and contacted a couple folks to find out what was really going on there. We're asking the City Council to hold on to this lot at least until we can see this project through, to see if we could get funding and to do this big dream. We are in the process right now of hiring a consultant. We will be putting together a community-wide task force to look at this, to figure out who should be involved. We've had contact with Natasha Walters. We've had contact with Jason Mitchell. We've had contact with Dave Wagner at Community Corrections, where the greenhouses are. All these people to come together and figure out how we can do this and bring a project like this to downtown Logansport. This is what would make people want to come downtown.
Anyone else?
My name is Sunny Miller. I'm from Lafayette, Indiana, and working on a house in Logansport to move here to this beautiful little city. The rivers, the wildlife, and the people are wonderful. I brought tonight a book from the lovely Emmaus Center, and it shows a marketplace downtown in Germany, and you can see the density of the city is not prevented from occurring with a farmer's market right at its heart. And I think that this diversity that was discussed, the diversity of food, I had to buy a case of the apple butter. Have you tried Mr. Scholey's apple butter? No sugar added. It is so amazing. It made great Christmas presents. And Charlie loves the salsa. I I think you make that, Emily. And who knows what else we'll discover. I tried some mushrooms, lion's mane mushrooms, just as a birthday present to myself. And so already there is great diversity there, as you said, Emily, and there will be so much more. As I was coming tonight, I thought, well, you know, gee, it is a shame to have that city center empty. Well, I've spent 25 years, 22 years, something like that, of my life in Massachusetts, and at the heart of every town, the tradition was to have a town common. It was for the purpose of herding your, grazing your flock. And I suppose, that was problematic as time went on. But now, the common at the center of the city is used for so many things. And I think that, I thought, well, how will that pavement work? I thought of that suggestion reported in the newspaper about, well, maybe we could have it, apartments above and a garage underneath. And I thought of our poor farmers with, car fumes and darkness. They're not the kind of people who want to be on a dark understory. They are out in the open, and whether there's a crowd to shop or not, they are there and here for us. And what a beginning has just been proposed. I'm amazed.
Thank you. Anyone else like to comment?
Paul Wilhelm, 630 South 15th Street. I just want to talk a little about the economics. We spent 2 years with a developer that was going to supposedly do a project. Like a lot of developers, they go into things with one idea, and then when the economic reality hits them of rising costs of commercial construction loans, rising cost of materials, those ideas are no longer viable. If we look at that site, at today's market rates, they're higher. Construction costs are higher. You're probably looking at somewhere between $6 and $7 million to build a structure there. We already have an established business there. In fact, we have a multitude of established businesses there with the farmers market. The economics would not make sense to proceed with trying to attract another developer to that site because the very reasons that precluded this first developer from coming here are not going to change. And that issue is parking. The State Theater doesn't want to give up the city parking lot across the street. The Historical Society doesn't want to give its parking lot. If you put 30 units in there, you've got to have somewhere between 60 and 70 dedicated parking spaces. And we cannot give up the parking lots we already have down there because it would simply hurt everybody else downtown. Sometimes we have to do things that make common sense. The farmers market makes common sense. It is a 40-year institution. It makes sense. So I would urge the council to look at the economics of what they bring to the community, the fact that they are small business incubators. And this also may provide an opportunity as these businesses grow to be able to move into permanent locations throughout the downtown. We still have a lot of vacant commercial property in our downtown. And we need to figure out how we're going to fill that. This is one way to fill that. And I hope the council will do the right thing, honor the commitments that were made when this property was given to the city. And I would just hope you do the right thing. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Crystal Miller, and we reside at 22nd and North Street. And I just, as a layman and member of the community, just want to ask that you please preserve our farmers market. My husband and I and our 2 children, we frequent it almost every week, Wednesday and Saturday. We love the farmers market. We get a majority of our fresh fruits and vegetables there. And I just ask that you please preserve this important part of our community.
Thank you, Crystal.
Thank you.
I'm Pete Walkley. I live at 1832 North Private Road, 190 East. I'm a patron of the farmers market. I consider the farmers market to be an asset to the community. Eat fresh, buy local. It's a good slogan. It's a good way to live. The farmer's market makes it possible. Its location at 4th and Market makes it convenient. A win-win.
Bill Pepe, you've been working with the RDC on this project. Would you like to make some updates on the last meeting from what was said? I just don't want messages being mixed here.
First of all, as far as ownership, it really doesn't matter to me, whether it be the city of Logansport or RDC. Yes, we've worked with developers in the past. None have come to fruition. I thought that's the direction that groups were telling me to go. If we move to farmers market, that's fine with me too. I would say it would take more of a something like community foundations looking at to make it something that can be more, whether it be year-round or more visible, and not just a parking lot that will need paved again. And so we got to, if we're going to keep it a farmer's market, we got to, I guess, step it up with that thought process and focus and support the grants or the community foundation or put money towards it. I think as it sits, it's a parking lot. And it might serve the purpose for a couple hours a week, but it could be better than that. It could be much more than that. So again, I don't, as far as ownership, if this council, I guess we need some direction on how to get everybody involved and go the same way. If this council would like it to be a farmer's market, we shouldn't rely on having to interview people from the past. The best way to do it would be to put a covenant on the deed that it needs to remain a farmer's market. I wouldn't suggest deeding it to them because then the upkeep becomes their problem. And based on experience of needing to resurface a parking lot, I don't think this group wants to come up with $1 million. So if you want it to be a farmer's market, you would need to get with Mr. Lehman to put a covenant on that deed so everybody understands that's the direction we're going. As far as you owning it, RDC owning it, I particularly don't care. I think we just need a collective community approach to what is best. And my personal thought is it needs to be something more. Not that they're not doing a great thing, but it can be better. More visible, signage, pavilion, whatever it might be. That's the discussion we need to have and not a back and forth of it shouldn't be this or shouldn't be that. So that's my thought. I'll entertain any questions. What I'm afraid of, though, even if it was a development that happened, I'm concerned what's underground. I'm certain there's buildings underground that they've just demolished and threw down there. I'm guessing the excavation would be a nightmare. So we got to keep that in mind for whatever we want. I'm assuming the underground situation is kind of bleak underneath that pavement.
Seems to be the trend around here.
That's the trend. So there's probably concrete foundations 5 foot thick. There's probably brick that's been piled into a basement. Not to say you can't do something, but we've got to keep that in mind. If we do a development of any kind, we would have to keep that in mind. And people can reach out to me. I've had 0 requests sent I've had one. Mr. Wilhelm did send an email with some drawings of what could go down there of a structure. But beyond that, no one's ever called me or stopped by and said, hey, I want it to be this, I want it to be that. The only requests I've gotten are for an apartment building. So we kind of move in that direction, but we have nobody in line right now. So I'm looking to you for guidance on what we should do.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. I just want everyone in the community, including the council, to know that at no point ever has this administration ever said that we did not support the farmers market law. We did not support the farmers market in Logansport. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that is not where we were going with this. Okay, we tried something. I love Deanna's idea. And so, I mean, if there's something there, then yeah, let's pursue it. But there was nothing there before. And so what this administration was trying to do is take a lot and make it an investment. Now, if the farmer's market gets the grant and we can do that, why not? It's something there, but it's more than just a parking lot. So if you can make it better, then I say we do it. But it just all depends on where the direction is going to go and finding that out. So Deanna, where were you at next? What was the date that you would, and I can write a letter of support as well.
We are working with the consultant right now.
Okay.
April 30th. We received the planning grant money, which is why we haven't spoken about this earlier.
Sure.
We just received that before Christmas.
Congratulations.
We're working on the planning grant part. That's due April 30th. By mid-June, communities are selected. We'll be meeting with Lily Endowment and asked to submit concept paper. Those projects will be funded before the end of this year.
Very good. Awesome. Thank you, Deanna. All right. Thank you all also for coming in and supporting the farmers market. Really appreciate it. This is awesome. All right. Council, any comments on your end for resolution 2020? Oh, sorry.
Well, I was mentioned a couple times, and Jacob Pomisol, deputy mayor and patron also of the farmers market. I love to visit, and to reiterate what the mayor said, at no time was this about just willy-nilly trying to remove the farmers market or hurt them in any way. I think one of the major goals of all of us here is the continuation and growth of a vibrant downtown, which is inclusive of a thriving farmers market. And so we've been trying to work in that direction by getting more people to live downtown. That's a big priority, and so that's where the focus was on that lot. Now, Deanna approached me with this opportunity last week, and so, you know, the first thing that I said was, how can we help? We're interested in, like you said, more than a parking lot. If there's a year-round or close to year-round use of that, I think that really benefits the downtown. And so that's what we're trying to get, is that it's more than a parking lot, it's used and benefits the community more than just a couple of weekends a year for a couple of months. I think that, you know, we'll ride this out. As far as the resolution, I think it does benefit the city in the, whether we do this project or another project down the road, to have it in the hands of the redevelopment commission. If the council wanted to amend it and have a final say over relinquishment or something like that, I think that would be your prerogative. It would just streamline the process a little bit and probably save a little bit of money. It's not a lot, but I think that would be a compromise as well, to allow you guys to have a final say, but to not have to have Aaron go through the deeding process and all of that. But fully supportive of exploring the grant opportunity, and yeah, 100, like Bill said, we're open to your guidance. I'm excited to work with all of you that are new and the ones that are continuing, and so we are open anytime to talk about this or any other issue that you're interested in.
Thank you, Jacob.
So, thanks, guys.
From the mayor, from the council perspective here, I just want to let you know that I had talked to Deanna, and she had told me that she had spoken with Jacob, and I was glad to hear that he was pretty much leading in the same direction that I was after having the pleasure of talking to her and hearing her proposal. You know, the thing that we want to take away from all this is just what the mayor and the rest of us have conveyed is, you know, sometimes maybe in our misguided judgment or when there's a lack of a real direction to go in, we look for other things. I was fully supportive of the developments, but I've been around here long enough to know that, and don't print this in the paper, but I'm going to agree with Mr. Wilhelm here for a minute. The lot may not be big enough to make a feasible development of the types that we were looking into. I was a part of moving it to the RDC, and like Jacob said, I don't know that we have to move the deed back, but we can write up some kind of an arrangement which gives us the right of last say as they proceed. I think this is sometimes in your quest to get somewhere, you take turns that you don't foresee, and I think that's where we're at. this is just an opportunity that we have to pursue. And I thank Deanna for having the insight with the people she spoke with.
May I speak again very briefly? Sonny Miller. It seems to me that the opportunity to really say we are in favor of the farmer's market, we want it to thrive, you would restore a lot of trust to potential new donors, to the patrons of the market, to the hard labor. It's not a few hours a week that they're there. How long is it? 12 at least, they're there, but the preparation, getting there, you know, in any kind of weather, it is very substantial, and I think that the celebrations that can occur there, whether there's an immediate grant or not, grants don't always come in on the dot. You can't say, oh, it failed by the end of the year if there's not funding there. Instead, please, would the council consider reversing the deed as a full endorsement of what is already happening, an endorsement for the really wonderful things to come when the community hears the invitation, and the, you know, facilities added can be a great incentive, of course, but the spirit comes first, doesn't it?
And as far as transferring the deed back, that does show support for the market. And also, there was an assessment done that the city paid $4,500 or so for an assessment of the housing development with the property. It costs less than $200. I talked to the title company. It costs less than $200 to change the title back to the city from the redevelopment commission, which it should not have gone to in the first place.
I'd like to say something.
Go ahead.
Nobody seems to be addressing a very important issue. That is food. Nowadays, you almost have to grow your own food to know you have food that's healthy. The way they grow food with the great big farms, they kill the land. They inject it with ammonia, then they plant, and they add everything that the plant needs chemically back to the ground, and you get a beautiful plant with lots of calories and no nutritional value practically. Because you get a lot of the nutrition in your plants from the bioactivity that takes place from the living organisms in the soil. Okay? So, you know, it just doesn't seem very bright to be doing away with one of the few sources of healthy food in the community. You don't understand?
Any other comments? Resolution 2023-149 is on the table. We have a motion. We have a second.
Need a motion?
Yeah. Did we have a motion? I didn't hear one.
I'll make a motion. We vote on. I'll second.
So what are we doing?
This is amending the resolution. This is to amend the resolution and give it back to the city of Logansport, the property. Okay? Everyone understand on the council side?
So
This is to
for
amend
us,
this resolution.
If we want the deed to come back to us in its current, way it's written currently, we vote no. If we want it to go to the RDC, we vote yes.
Thank you.
Is that right? It says amend the resolution. 2022-101, Dave. So that would be,
Pardon?
amending it would do the opposite of what you just said.
Now, if we pass this amendment, it gives it back to the, it leaves it at the RDC permanently.
If you vote for this?
Yes, and that's my understanding. Let's take a good look at it before we vote on it.
Where's our birthday boy at when we need
I think we should just defer to our attorney. It's
says that it goes back to the RDC. I already read it.
Was it in there that it said that it was- You added, there was new language added, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, so now therefore be it resolved by the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, if you vote yes. Section 1, for the reasons set forth herein, the council hereby finds that it is in the best interest of the community for the purpose of housing to gift all parcels previously mentioned for redevelopment purposes downtown to the Logansport Redevelopment Commission. Section 2, the council hereby approves these terms and conditions pursuant to Indiana Code 36-7-14-19. Section 3, if any section, paragraph, or provision of the resolution shall be held to be invalid or unenforceable for any reason, the invalidity or unenforceability of such section, paragraph, or provision shall not affect any of the remaining provisions of the resolution. Section 4, this resolution shall be in full force and effective immediately upon adoption.
So if we approve this, it goes to RDC permanently.
Yes. Okay, so now everybody gets, we're all on the same page.
We don't understand still, we can't quite hear when you
Oh. So a vote yes.
A vote yes is a vote to leave it with the RDC permanently. A vote no would mean it comes back to the city council.
Cheering you on. Great.
So we have a motion to approve or deny and vote on resolution 2023 in a second. Are we ready for vote? Council, any other comments? Last chance. All right, call for question. Susie Wamsley.
No.
Haley Zimmermaster.
No.
Cameron Austin.
No.
BJ Cox.
No.
Chris Howard.
No.
Scott Petey.
No.
Dave Morris.
No.
Well, yep. All right, so resolution 2023-149 does not pass, which means that it reverts back to the city of Logansport. All right, there we go. All right, new business, ordinance 2024-01. Councilwoman Zinsmaster.
Ordinance 2024-01, an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, amending the appropriation of funds for the purchase of 13 golf carts as outlined in ordinance 2022-53, and I would ask for a vote on ordinance 2024-01 on its first reading.
Do you have a second? Who's seconding? All right, any further discussion? Call for question. 01. Mm-hmm. Dave Morris.
Yes.
Scott Petey.
Yes.
Chris Howard.
Yes.
Susie Wamsley.
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Yes.
BJ Cox.
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Yes.
Ordinance 2024-01 passes on its first reading. Resolution 2024-101. Councilman Howard.
Resolution 2024-101, a resolution of the Common Council of the City of Logansport, Indiana, selecting a council president and standing committees for the years 2024 and 2025, as well as board appointees. Mr. Mayor, I ask for a vote on Resolution 2024-101.
Second.
All right, any further discussion? Call for question. Scott Petey.
Yes.
Susie Wamsley.
Yes.
BJ Cox.
Yes.
Chris Howard.
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster.
Yes.
Cameron Austin.
Yes.
Resolution 2024-101 passes. Public comments. Anyone in the audience who would like to make a comment, please come to the microphone, state your name and address for us. All right. Seeing none, council member comments. Anyone on the council?
I have some comments. Bill Cup, are you still in there? Can you come up for me, please? I'll let everybody know about the December 6th meeting with Samsung, Stellantis, Star Plus Energy.
Yes.
Brief presentation and question and answer. Local jobs, 3,400, correct me if I'm wrong on this.
It's more in the 4,800 range.
4,800?
Yeah.
Jobs, okay. Start of production is 1/1 of 2025, is that correct?
For
Stellantis?
half of it.
For half of it?
The other one's 2027.
There are also, a trucking hub was mentioned. They're looking for land approximately 150,000 square feet. They said there could be hundreds of trucks coming and going daily. And Dave McClure, Logansport native, was among the DeSantis.
Stellantis.
Still Stellantis, okay. Company. He says developing quickly. Have we made any strides or negotiation to get this trucking hub or any satellite plants like spare parts factories, mailing hubs, anything here in Logansport?
I work frequently with Mr. McClure and a couple that you may have met that day. So yeah, we are in communication. I've looked at potentially budget for speculative building, which is what we're seeing is at the state level, requests will go out for EV-related industry or anything, actually, and they have criteria that you would need to meet: electric load, acreage, size of a building. A lot of requests related to that EV industry want an existing building now. So with that, you do some math, and they typically want 100,000 plus.
Square feet?
Yeah.
That's about what, 2 acres, 3 acres?
No, more than that. We have 4 lots out at the industrial park, anywhere from 11 acres to 30 acres. So we have land. Currently, they're not wanting land, and to help them build something, they are wanting something built for them. So you kind of have a guessing game of what you want to build. If you're looking at a 100,000 square foot building, you better be ready to bond some money, because it's, you could be looking $15 to $20 million on a guess.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a guess. So I don't think we have that kind of capacity at this point. We have been in talks with the county is there a way to do a partnership for a speculative building? We looked at Ready 2.0. Is that an opportunity? At the end of the day, that's a costly risk. I've seen spec buildings sit for 10 years. I've seen them work. I do know that Stellantis is going to fill out their acreage that they have first. They have an industrial park specifically for these satellite companies, your suppliers, basically. Long story short, we're in talks with them, and we're on his radar. He's a Logansport native. He wants it to happen here. We will do anything we can, and you'll be the first group to know if we get a bite.
Okay.
Outside of that, we'd have to build a spec building, hope. So,
Build a spec building, could that be for, if not Stellantis, another company that we'd be ready to go to get industry into Logansport?
correct. I think pricing it out, you'd be looking at $100 a square foot plus, or a shell. You walk into it, the floors aren't finished, no offices, it's just an open 30 to 40 foot shell. If you want to, that's a white box they would call. If you want to go all out, it's going to be a lot more. So the reason you would not finish the floors or all out of the office stuff is you don't know what people would want.
Cater to the customer?
Yeah, so if they want a certain thickness, or how many overhead doors do they want, office type, how much dedicated for office, things like that. You would work with the investor to get that accomplished. So just think in your mind, $100 plus would get you basically, you'd walk into the place and have some walls. Other than that, we'd have to finish it out.
Okay. Okay. Will you keep in touch with them then if anything?
Oh, yeah. Talk to them tonight.
Get us, because like the whole northern half of the state's
Trying
to get something done. I think we should be in contention too.
I do too, with our proximity. We're also working through that with housing, hotels, what else does it look like for everything else to do with that Stellantis investment.
Some other things that were mentioned were for the large Korean based workers, Korean-based homes, restaurants, groceries. Could we look for stuff like that? We do have a couple of Marsh buildings that are empty.
Yeah, we do.
Any word on that?
We've had a couple of offers we've sent to the Marsh owner, and they've come up empty.
Empty what? They didn't want
I've had a
more?
prospect willing to pay $750 cash for Marsh on 13th Street, and they did not entertain it. At the time, they wanted a couple $1 million, so.
Is that what they still want on that?
Yep, to my knowledge.
Just the one on the 13th Street?
Correct.
Okay. Okay, also, some reports, I'd like to start getting maybe quarterly reports.
Okay.
If not by you as a developer, of number one, the mall, the junction, the old mall. I don't see a whole lot going on. People ask me what's going on there, why is there no progress? What is the developer's name? I know him by Chicago Joe.
You got half of it right. Joe DiCasola.
Can you spell that?
DiCosola.
Isacola?
DiCasola, yeah.
Very good.
DiCasola.
Okay.
DiCasola.
I'd like to kind of hear from him as to what's going on, you and him. Couple things, there's standing water in front of Sears store, a big lake. And we did work on the sewer system. Why is that standing there?
Well, hopefully it's not sewer. It'd more be wastewater than sewer.
Rainwater, possibly. It wouldn't be.
Yeah, we only worked on sewer. We did not work on wastewater, so
No rainwater drainage or anything like that?
I'm not aware of any problems. I'd have to see it.
Also, the work stoppage, which I just mentioned. Also, there's a curb put in at the former D&J liquor store and the current Dr. Price. I'd like to know why that curb was put in. There was argument caused, which I'm hearing. The money that we gave them from the council a while back when Joe DiSola came and said he couldn't get any more money out of his stores that he had there. Bank would give him no more money. And we gave him some money. Just
Is that a question?
Questions I'd like answered in the council.
If you did give him money, that's the
I
question?
thought we gave him $400,000. Because
They
he
was-
needed money to progress and finish the job.
Correct.
It's still not finished. Why?
Correct.
Okay. Can you get a hold of him? and
Yeah.
Answer some questions, or do you need me to go with you? Or?
No, I talk to him all the time. I mean, whatever you feel best.
Okay, thank you. The Spencer Park Pavilion, I talked with Jan, the Parks Director, Jan, and I'm being asked, why is it taking so long? What's being done? Park Board meeting is Wednesday at 5:30. I'm gonna try and catch that to get some answers.
Yeah, you're asking the wrong person on that.
Okay.
I'm not involved in that.
Another thing, the disc golf course, that's taking forever to get developed. I understand there's some parking issues out there with Ivy Tech.
That would be a mayor question,
Okay.
not myself.
Okay. We'll try and get some answers to that, to put out to the public. And also the Marsh supermarket sites. I was in Baltimore, Maryland, and saw a Safeway grocery. I got the corporate number. Can you call them and see if they would like to come for a tour, or can I call them?
Either way.
Try and get something.
I can call them.
Because it's what do they call it, a food desert. There's nothing into middle of town.
What they call on the, not so much the east side, but
Middle of town, 3rd Street.
the north side, west side, where the other marsh was, it would be designated a food desert.
There was a lot of foot traffic through there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd also, thank you, I appreciate your time and your answers. I'll be getting a hold of you, and if you could just report back, or,
Yeah, as far as the mall, the most I can tell you, I mean, there's the same things I won't be able to tell you, but I can tell you there are 6 letter of intents where the due diligence is going on. We have 3 that have moved to contract stage, which they got through the due diligence process. Basically, once you find a franchise that's interested in your community, you get into an LOI, which kind of locks them in for a certain spot. Then each side can do a due diligence. That's what we've been under, is a due diligence period. Like I said, 3 have advanced past that and are to the execution part in contract stage. I'm not even going to throw a date out there because I eat crow when I do. So all I can say is they're in the contract phase with attorneys, and hopefully you'll have 3 announcements for 3 retail establishments. The other 3 are still under due diligence.
3 in existing buildings or new?
Existing, yeah. They will all be existing. We're not attracting any new, other than the Dunkin', Jimmy John's we've talked about. They've already bought the property. They paid $350,000 for the pad right between Dollar Tree and the entrance where the taco truck currently sits. It is owned by somebody else now for $350,000, which is the Dunkin' proprietor. They've already got their plans approved through Aaron's office. Again, I'm not going to set a timeline, but hopefully it'll be spring.
Thank you so much for your information and your time.
Anytime, reach out to me.
I will, thank you. One of the last things I had, I'd like to organize a tour of the memorial home for the new council members, so we can get back on that and start getting that taken care of, refurbished, and get a developer in there to take over. I'd like to wish Kelly Lehman a happy birthday.
Awesome. Thank you.
And that's all I had. Thank you.
Appreciate it, Scott. All right. Any other council member comments?
Dina, if you and the Community Foundation can pull this off, I think it'd be fantastic for the city. This is a hell of a nice structure to build, and I can see it being used a year long. It'd be great. Good luck.
All right. Final chance, council member comments. All right. I want to thank everyone that spoke today for being very not rude and disrespectful to the council and the administration while you sat up here and talked to us, and we appreciate that. That means a lot more to us than it does, when you're fighting and constantly bickering and badgering on social media. It doesn't go anywhere with this administration. But when you show up to a meeting, you're respectful, and you show us exactly why you want something done, it makes a huge difference. So just remember that. So thank you, Emily and Jessica, and all those that spoke today. We really appreciate that. All right, miscellaneous business and any matters not already considered, including ADA Section 504 compliance or concerns. All right, seeing none, do I have a motion to adjourn at 7:27 p.m.?
I'll make a motion, please.
Second.
All right, call for question.
BJ Cox,
Yes.
Chris Howard,
Yes.
Cameron Austin,
Yes.
Haley Zinsmaster,
Yes.
Scott Feedy,
Yes.
Susie Wamsley,
Yes.
Dave Morris.
Yes. We are adjourned. Have a great night.
Sing happy birthday.